Hello there, my stamping friends. It is Tammy with Stampin' Scrap Tammy, and what I'm here today to show you is the cards and give you a little insight on what my order special is for the month of August. We have got a brand new mini catalog, and we have got some wonderful papers in our celebration catalog as well. So I am going to be highlighting one of the beautiful papers that are part of that offering. And I've got a couple different things I'm going to share with you today so that if you get this card packet with your, because of your order special, you'll have success with your stamping, whether you have the bundle that I use for my original samples, or maybe you're just going to substitute out a different stamp set. All right, so what am I using in my original samples? Well, let's talk about this first. Let's back it up just a little bit. I have got an order special, so I have got 5 free cards for you if you place a $50 order. In addition to that, because it's August and because we're having a virtual party at the beginning of the month, I am also offering you a free embellishment, so a brand new embellishment out of one of our current catalogs, and I'm going to send along with you a retired embellishment from one of my little stashes that I have on hand. I offer a punch card program, so if you haven't shopped with me before, I do offer a punch card, and after 10 punches you do get a free stamp set. My punches start at $50, and so this offer is good August 3rd through the 27th. And again, you're shopping with Stampin' Scrap with Tammy. I am Tammy Nelson. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So some of you have been following along on Facebook. This is kind of a replay. It's a recorded video for everybody. But I've been holding a virtual party. I'm recording this video on Friday, August 6th. And so the virtual party's been going on for a few days now. Of course, if you're watching this, of course you're watching the replay, but you can hop on over to Facebook or just scroll my YouTube channel and you'll find the other videos from our event. So take a look at these beautiful cards. So these cards, I need to give credit. As a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I team up with and I do training with other demonstrators, and I subscribe to some other programs. So one of the programs I subscribe to for the benefit of my Cafe Crafter team, that's our little group that's taking advantage of the Happy Shopper Kit, I take advantage of a meeting planner. So every month I get some ideas and we host a team meeting where we make and take. So this happens to be this month's make and take. So I should have given a little warning. If my Cafe Crafters are watching, maybe you wanted to be surprised on Tuesday for our team meeting, or when your packet arrives in the mail to you, because this is a mailed option. We have people in our group from all over. So of course right now we do have a great special where you can get a free bundle with the Happy Shopper Starter Kit. That's what I like to call it, because you don't have to be all serious about it. You can take the discount and run with it, or you can be part of our Cafe Crafter group as long as you would like and continue to get 20% off of your purchases. So take a look at these cards. So again, these are from a meeting planner. I didn't mention who they are from. A meeting planner that I subscribe to that is done up by Rhonda Wade and her team over at the Creating Success group. So look at these cards. These are so great. What the cool part about this card, and I will tell you the measurements as I get working on the projects. Look at that. So it uses actually very minimal cardstock, and you get to see both sides of the designer series papers. So I'm going to try to kind of keep these somewhat together with my supplies so that as I create, I can coordinate my colors as I would like to. So look at this. So beautiful that you get to see both sides of the paper. This is the Peaceful Prints Designer Series paper. Now there's many other things that you can do with this paper. So if you get this free with a purchase kit in the mail, you don't even have to make these cards if you don't want. You can take the white cardstock and make something else. You can take this piece of Designer Series paper and go crazy with it. I have got some of this dazzling, I believe it's called Dazzling Diamonds. I'm not exactly sure, but dazzling paper. It's just dazzling. All right, and then what I have here is this card. This is probably my favorite print out of the Peaceful Prints Designer Series paper. Nice thing about this paper, and including it in this kit, maybe you're not going to buy this set, but you want to have a little sampling of it. So this is the way you can do it, because maybe you have something else you want out of the celebration catalog. So this is an option to get it. All right, and I will mail these within a few weeks of your order. Of course, I need to get some more. This is a very new catalog, so I need to get some more ribbon on hand and all of that. So I'm going to set some of this aside, and I'll share with you. Let me see here. I'm gonna try to stay somewhat neat and organized, if that is even possible. I'm not sure that it is. All right, so what I used on the cards that I just shared with you, I used the Deer Builder Punch, and I also used the Peaceful Deer stamp set. So this is a bundle. I don't have the price right in front of me, but it is an option that you can add this to your starter kit right now for free. So if you would like to take advantage of that and get this for free, that is definitely an option. I should talk about, so these are going to be free with a $50 order. My Cafe Crafters, they're going to make these cards on Tuesday. They pay just $5 for that entire class. So every month, $5 for an entire class if you're part of the Cafe Crafter group. All right, what I'm going to show you as an alternate for the stamp set today, this is also in our new mini catalog, is Encircled in Warmth. Okay, so the reason I'm going to go with this is because it has sentiments and they kind of fit the space that I need. And this is just show you that you can create these exact cards with either a different one that you want to purchase or with one that you already have. So if you have got some great winter, / Christmas sentiments already, you're gonna have success with the cards today. And that is generally how I create most of my classes so that we can have success with the people that take them to go, by mail, or the ones that do stamp live in the studio with me. So let's go ahead and get started here. And what do we need here? I do need to get a bone fold, and I believe that's the only other supply I'm gonna need. All right, let's just start with this one. It is done in Sahara Sand is the star of the show here. And then look at this. So I've got just a 1/4 inch paper here, a 1/4 inch of that Dazzling Diamonds. It goes a long ways. That's not even what it's called. I got to think of the name of that. I might have to look it up before we're done here. Actually, I can because it is right here. I think I'm saying that wrong. Oh, Bedazzling. We used to have a paper called Dazzling Diamonds. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. So this is called Bedazzling 6x6, this little glimmer. It's beautiful. And it's great because you can just use a little sliver of it. And you could even go smaller than that if you wanted to. All right, so what we're gonna start with here, I have cut all of my bases. So the measurements for these are all the same. I'll say these a couple of times for you, but they're all the same. We have got 5.5 by 5.5. And then I scored it down at at 4 1/4. So let me do that for you. Let me just show you how that plays out. That'll make a little more sense if I show you. So of course, a couple different ways you can do it. So I've got this cut at 5.5 by 5.5, okay? What's pretty cool about that is that it leaves a little strip of I can get the 3x4, and if you're cutting these yourself, it'll make sense to you as you get going. But so I got 5.5 by 5.5, right? That is my base measurement. Now, all I did, I tucked it up here because I know that half of a sheet, so this to this, is 4 1/4. So that's kind of our standard base. So that's all I need to cut this to. And then I already have all my designer series, and so I'm going to use my bone fold. This is just as if I am going ahead and doing an entire card base. I just scored it, and now I'm just using my bone fold. Now what you do here, I should have checked my measurements. I'm going to forget. So this is 4 by 5.5, okay? And so what I'm going to do now is just tuck that in there. So all I have to do is put a little piece, a strip, it could be a piece, depending on what kind of adhesive you're using. I have got my Stampin' Seal, which I think it's almost gone. And maybe I'm going to have to pull in a different one as we get going here, or go and grab another one. And so I'm just putting it on this spine there. And all I do is I flip it over like so. And now I want to add in my little strip of Bedazzling paper. Dazzling paper. And let's put that on top of here. And now here's where I'm going to show you. Of course, this deer looks great, right? But what also would look great is just a nice big sentiment. So let's go ahead and put, since I'm not going to put much else on this particular one, I'm going to use the largest one here that says, "You warm my heart." And I will, since it's a larger stamp, I do like to go from the top like so. And I will put it kind of in the center, and then I'll put a bow around the bottom. Now within the kits, there probably will be a variety of different ribbons. just because I don't necessarily have enough, although I will wait a few days before I send these out. So maybe I will have enough by the time that rolls around. This is one of the newer ribbons. I should have these names memorized, but I certainly do not yet. It has taken a little while for me to learn these. I do have a sheet with the names of them, so maybe if I take a guess, I could get it right. So this would be the white glittered ribbon that I have right here. I'm gonna go just a little off to the side on my bow here, just a little to the left. And so this is a 3x4 white. So all of the whites are 3x4. So we've got our base at 5.5 by 5.5, a nice square, easy to remember that, 5.5 by 5.5. We scored at 4 1/4. And then our stamped piece on each one of these cards is 3x4. Easy to remember that. And then if I can figure out how to tie a bow here, we're gonna end up with a little bow here. And there we go. And when I cut my bows for the card kits that I send out, I do leave you a generous amount. I'm just using up some scraps here, so as you see me do them, some might be a little longer, some might be a little shorter, but that's just because I'm using up what I have already cut. It was kind of little leftover pieces from my ribbon shares. All right, and so I'm gonna go ahead, I don't know why, but I'm gonna use this stuff, it's sitting here, and that way it'll fit over my ribbon. Hold that ribbon in place is the tear tape. I don't want to run my Stampin' Seal over the tear tape. That wouldn't work out as well as this. And let's put another piece here. And so the color that I have here, this is, I don't know if I said it at the beginning, it is Sahara Sand. So I've got Sahara Sand cardstock. That is the coordinating color right on here. It looks great with the bedazzling. And then I use Sahara Sand ink as well. On the deer card, so if you're recreating as the deer, I've got Garden Green down here for the ink. I use the Ivory blend, and then I just have Soft Suede is what I stamped my deer in. So really, I mean, Early Espresso would work, Crumb Cake would work as kind of the coordinating colors on that. And let's go ahead and put this right over the top. And now you have a couple options here. You can go ahead and just adhere it right on top of there, or something I like to do because I like lots of dimension is we can put these on with dimensionals. So it's gonna give us a different look. So maybe, you know, maybe deer aren't your thing, but you like a nice, elegant looking card with a basic sentiment on it. Well, that's what we have here. And so this is, again, the Encircled in Warmth stamp set. I believe it actually coordinates with the Encircled in Friendship stamp set that's in our annual catalog. There's some dies that cut out some really cool circles and elements like that. And it's not just a plain old basic circle. It's a really, really spruced up circle. So look at that. That's a beautiful card. Let's move to the next one. And now this one, these will go together quite a bit faster because I don't need to go over all the measurements. So I will just kind of whip some of these together. Let me move this ink out of the way. I may use it again, I'm not quite sure yet. This is the first time I made up the samples using this stamp set. So I made up the first set just to see how they all went together. And now I'm working into the next one. And I'm really thinking I'm gonna try this layout out with some of the other designer series papers as well. This would fall under what I like to call simple successful stamping, where you can take one layout, one very basic layout, and you can make multiple cards with it, whether it be with a variety of designer series from the same designer series paper pack, or you can take different designer series papers and stamp sets, but with the same layout, it's gonna look just as fabulous, where you could make this into a Halloween card. You could make it into anything that you wanted. It's just a great go-to layout. So next up, I need to do some stamping on here. I have got the basic black again, my layer, 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. 3 by 4 right here is what we got. And let's go ahead and do, I think this one would look good with a nice real red. So let's bring some real red ink. We will put this one on right here. Warm Christmas Wishes. So this is really basic, simple stamping. There's really, on the cards that I'm creating right now, of course the deer, I did use the punch, but on these ones that I'm creating right now, we are really stamps, ink, and paper. That is all we have got going on right now. That is what is kind of the definition of simple stamping: stamps, ink, and paper. Back to the basics. And now here on this one, I'm gonna pull in this black and white gingham ribbon. And this is one where I'm gonna have to be a little bit crafty to get a bow out of this piece of ribbon, but I'm gonna give it a good old try here and see how it works out for me. And if not, I'll just tie a little knot and you'll never even know that it wasn't a full bow. Well, you'll know now because I told you, but whoever I give it to is gonna have no idea what was going on there. All right, so let's go ahead. I will also be sending photos of these in this recorded video. If you do take part in the order special and you are lucky enough to get these cards sent to you, you'll also get an email with some pictures of them too. So you won't have to rewatch this whole video if you don't want to, but you know, they're pretty easy to come together. So just really by looking at a picture, a basic explanation like what we're doing here, you're gonna remember this forever. And that twisted a little bit, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be all perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and mat that. So black gingham ribbon. Something cool that I saw in a card swap that I shared earlier today in another video was somebody colored this gingham with their blends markers. So did you know that you can color ribbon with your blend markers? And they colored the white, well, they colored over all of it, but of course the black, it didn't matter. And what they did was they colored it orange and it made a beautiful Halloween ribbon. It was gorgeous. It was used on a, well, I don't know, is gorgeous the right word for Halloween? I certainly really enjoyed it though. So then this one, let's just go ahead and put it right on top. So then we'll have some that have dimensionals on them and some that do not. And so this is card number 2. Just the super cool part about this layout is that you get to see the back side of the paper. Because, you know, sometimes it is hard. You can't decide which side do I like better. This, it doesn't matter. You can use either. And so let's go ahead. I'm going to put my sample with that. Let's move into this beautiful card. So now we have got a basic white for the base, and I'm using real red. And so I'll probably go ahead and use the real red ink. And I have these all pre-scored, 5.5 by 5.5, score at 4 1/4. This is like the easiest card you'll ever make. And then we've got 4 by 5.5. And that way, that's what leaves this little bit sneak out here, which I really enjoy that. And I will go ahead and just put one little dash of adhesive down the side. Down kind of the spine is what we can call that. You know what, did I put that on there? Oh, I did. Oh, I almost thought I forgot to put my bedazzling on that last card. Wouldn't have that been a shame? I think I would have to tear it apart and add it. So I'm gonna add my bedazzling strip here. And here we go. Beautiful. And let's do some more stamping. Now some of these I'm gonna double up on the stamping. And so this one, I'm just kind of looking through here to decide what I want to do. So I think I do want to do this one in real red. I'm going to use this one. This is the smallest stamp. Let's go ahead and put that right there. We'll do that in real red. Now I did leave out one element from the, what was the stamp set called? The one with the deer on it, the one that my original samples were made of. Of course, I had it here and now who knows where I put it. I did leave out one element because you probably have something like this. Of course, this will look fine if you want to keep it all nice and just super, super simple and clean. But something I thought looked really nice on this sample, I liked those little elements on the back. It's just little like stars and dots. It's just really cute. So really, if you have anything that has just a little bit of texture, you know, just like a little, there's like little paint splatters, or there's snowflakes like this, or whatever, stars. That's what I want to add on here. It just adds a little bit to it because this is Sahara and this isn't Sahara sand. And I'm not going to go around the whole card. I'm just going to kind of sprinkle it a little bit. And what's nice is because there's Sahara sand in this striped designer series paper. And so for this one, let's go ahead. I have this real red. This is called Real Red sheer ribbon. This is the same as our In Color ribbon. Let's do this one up a little bit different. Let's put our white, our 3x4 white, right onto the Real Red first, and then we'll wrap our ribbon around. The other ones, I'm doing them, I think I did one that way. So I'm about half and half. I'm about 50% right now. So we are on card number 3, 3 of 5. And so this is the Real Red sheer ribbon. It is beautiful. It is the same, I think I was just saying that. I don't know if I finished saying it. It is the same ribbon as our new In Color ribbons that are in the annual catalog. They tie quite lovely. They're easy to work with. And I will just do this. And I've got this one right about in the center. Some of those I put a little bit to the left. This one looks like I put my glue dot right in the center. But wherever you put it, it is gonna be just fine. Now, if you don't like to tie a bow, just tie a little knot at this point. I don't mind tying bows, so that's what I'm gonna stick with. I'm gonna try to work it in to flip it going the right direction. And looks like we're in business. All right, let me just do a little twisty twist. All right, so most of you, well, all of you, this is a recorded video. So everybody's watching this on YouTube. So many of you are probably watching and you follow me on Facebook. If you are watching the video right now, what I would absolutely love to do is if you would give me a thumbs up on the video. I really appreciate that. It helps me keep things going and moving and building. And then if you are on YouTube, subscribe. I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. And what will happen then is you'll get notifications when I post a new video. I don't so much at this point go live on YouTube, but I do share all of the videos that I create over on Facebook. I share them on YouTube within, usually within a few hours of them being created. So, if you're not on Facebook or maybe you don't like to be on Facebook too much, you can go ahead and subscribe to my page here or channel on YouTube, and then you'll get notifications whenever I go live. Also, in the comments section, there is a spot that you can sign up for door prize forms. Now, the door prizes are gonna go until August 9th. So if you're watching this after August 9th, the door prize form will be closed, but there's also a VIP email list sign up. That gets you on my email list. So next time I do a virtual party or you wanna get my tutorial Tuesday, that'll go right to your inbox. So that is signing up for my email list. But if you are watching this before August 9th, sign up for the door prizes because you could win. I'm giving away 3 stamp sets and I think I have 7 embellishments to give away. Lots of giveaways going on. All right, so next we're gonna move into, I'm using Garden Green. We're gonna go into Garden Green. So I have got, how many more cards do we have to do? Looks like we have 2 more. So this is quite a quick little process here that we're going through. And I'm gonna go ahead and use this large stamp again. I had a Sahara sand on it, so I need to just clean that off. I'm just gonna stamp it off. There we go, we're ready to go. We're ready to rock and roll. All right, again, this is a larger stamp, so I'm gonna go ahead and go from this side rather than going from, the other way. It really does help so that you don't get, ink all over and get all the little shadows and things on there. Or halos, whatever you like to call it. We call that when, let me see if I can show you an example. I don't know if I have one here. But what that would be is if like the outside part ink would get on there. That's what we call that. So if you go from the top how I just did it, it seems to be quite successful. And I think I will do the other one because the other base is Garden Green as well. So I don't think it's a bad idea if we just keep with the theme. I really like this stamp for the project. What happened there? You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna fix something right now. Right here, right now, I'm gonna fix it. Because I think my ribbon would cover that, but I don't know. I think my piece of paper was dirty. I don't know what happened there, but let's go ahead and flip it. Did you know you can do that? 2 sides to every paper, right? If you screw up twice, well, then we're gonna start over with a new piece of paper. No problem, it's just paper. And let's go ahead and try that one more time. And that's gonna be it. So I'm gonna be done with ink. So I'm gonna set that all out of the way so that I don't get my fingers in it. And you see, I'm just kind of leaving this sit here. I do like to, when I'm using these red rubber, I like to let the ink soak in a little bit. It gives it a nice crisp image. And then I'll pull it up, straight down, gives you success every single time. Okay, here we go. Let's set those aside. Well, no, we're not gonna set them aside. We're gonna adhere them right onto our next piece here. So we've got 3x4 in the white. My background for every single one of these cards that I am matting these stamped images on is 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. You all could probably say this right along with me. I'm gonna use the black and white gingham ribbon. I should see if that's the actual term for that. It sure is. Black and white gingham ribbon that you can color with your blends if you ever so do choose to make it any color you want. As far as the white goes, of course, the black is going to be the black part, but if you want to have purple and black gingham, if you wanted to make this more of a green gingham, you could do that too. But I like it black and white with this particular card. I love this card though. You know, so if you don't have this, I can tell you the name of the stamp set too. If you don't have the Peaceful Deer bundle, but you have a different tree, I mean, my goodness, go for it. And what I did on this one is I stamped, like full strength is what you call it, and then I stamped again. So stamp, 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 you know, and so then you get what they call like second generation, or some people would call it stamp off, but you're not really stamping off, you're stamping. Before you re-ink it again, you stamp it again right on the paper. I think it's just beautiful. So if you don't yet have a tree set in your collection, this is a good one. There is, I think, 4 or 5 different tree images within that set. So it's really nice. And of course our catalog has other tree images, but a tree set, you know, it's kind of an important thing. Or maybe that's just me. I think that's important. And maybe because we're from the north, I'm from Minnesota, maybe we think that, you know, kind of think in the Northwoods theme, even though I'm in southern Minnesota. But anyways, that's beside the point. All right, so then this one, I'm matting on Garden Green. And since this one is gonna go on a white card base, I wanna bring in a different white ribbon. And this just happens to be, this is, oh, I don't know the name of it. It's like a crinkle ribbon, I don't know. But it's in the annual catalog. It's a nice white. You can also color this ribbon as well. So I was really pulling out lots of variety in my ribbon. I had all these, you know, new ribbons that I'm using, but I'm kind of on a shortage until more come because I'm working on ribbon shares. So paper and ribbon shares. And so all of that information goes out in my weekly email. So if you're interested in that, just subscribe and then wait for Tuesday to come along and get the Tuesday tutorial. And then also is all the information that I have going on. So if you want to sign up for a class or you want to join the Cafe Crafter group, that's our group of, that's my little group of people that like to do this. So the Cafe Crafters, that's what we call ourselves, the people that have purchased the Happy Shopper Starter Kit. We gather for special team events, both live and virtually, because again, there's people from all over. But we have our team meeting coming up this coming Tuesday. It will be August 10th, 2021. So, I mean, of course, these videos live on YouTube forever, pretty much. And so, you know, maybe you're watching it later on. But we do them every month. So we would love to have you join us anytime you would like. All right, so let's get this one in here. So now I'm kind of skipped and I'm doing 2 cards at once. That's how I operate. I started 1 at a time and then I got antsy. And now I'm doing 2 at a time. So let's try to remember what I'm doing here. It wouldn't really matter because they're both Garden Green. So I will go ahead and put this one here, the adhesive on the spine, tuck that in there, and fold it down. Now all of these supplies are cut and ready to go when I send them to you. So if you're taking advantage of the order special, this is all cut. There's envelopes included. It'll all be in a little bag labeled, you know, when it came, and then you'll get an email with photos right about the same time that I send it out to you. look at how pretty that is. Wow, I am really impressed with how this looks together. Because again, I wasn't quite sure how it was gonna work. I was just hoping for success when I pulled out that stamp set and decided to create with the Encircled in Warmth stamp set, kind of alongside or in addition to the Peaceful Deer bundle. It's fun to see how things look using different stamp sets. And I'm gonna pull that away. And you know, what I'm gonna end up trying with this next is that new Penguin Place Designer Series paper. I'm thinking that's gonna have to be my next go around with this designer, or not this designer series, the Peaceful Penguin Designer Series paper with this layout. And one last card before I wrap it up. I certainly hope that you enjoyed the fun, quick, simple, successful stamping project that I've created for you today. Whether you are taking advantage of the order special to get these sent to you, or maybe you're a demonstrator already, or you're on my Cafe Crafter group, now you can just go ahead and recreate these on your own. Everybody is welcome in the Stampin' Scrap Tammy community, whether you're a demonstrator under me, somebody else, you're a stamping customer of mine, you're a stamping customer of someone else. I am here to share creativity with everybody. That is what Stampin' Up! Is all about, and everybody has been so generous to me over the last, you know, almost 6 years of sharing since I've been a demonstrator, that it is the least I can do is pay it forward by sharing some of these fabulous projects. Now, once again, this project layout and kind of class idea is from a meeting planner that I subscribe to. So I do want to give full credit to Rhonda Wade and the Creating Success team over, I believe they are all in, well, not all, I think she has people that help her out from all over, but in Lansing, Michigan. And so I subscribe to this meeting planner, so I get these great projects that I can kind of tweak how I want them to work, but they are all so relevant to what is going on in Stampin' Up! So that is what we are doing this month. These exact cards are what my Cafe Crafter team is making this next week. So those that live local to me get to come here and stamp them if they choose. And then those that live farther away, I mail them out to them. So let me bring these all in view. I'll move kind of all the stuff that's not needed out of the way. And then you can have a nice good look at these cards. And let me bring in one more time. So we use, in the first card samples was the Peaceful Deer stamp set. So this is where you can see there's some really great trees in this set. And this isn't really to size. I think they're a little bigger. And then there's some great sentiments in there as well. And then of course a punch is always nice, especially if you're just starting out and maybe you don't have a stamp cut and emboss machine yet. And then the other stamp set that I actually stamped with today is the Encircled in Warmth. These are both in the new mini catalog, the August to December mini catalog. Kind of otherwise known, I like to call it our holiday catalog, but there's definitely some things that are not holiday. So you also might be thinking like, well, why is she showing me all of these Christmas cards right now? Well, this designer series is in celebration, so it's only available, it's kind of a while supplies last, but it is only available through September. So the stamp sets and those things are available longer, but this particular designer series paper is only available through September. So it's kind of one of those things, if you want to get it, you want to do it now. And if you're going to make Christmas cards, you kind of want to start thinking about them now. You don't want to wait until November because you probably want to send them out right at the beginning of December. So now is a great time to be thinking about this year's Christmas cards, and these are some great options. All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed. Please give me a like, a share, you know, a thumbs up, follow my page, and come back. And if you are able, let me see, I do Facebook Live every single Wednesday at 11 a.m. over on Facebook, obviously, at Stampin' Scrap with Tammy. And then it is shared on YouTube later that day. So I look forward to hearing from all of you and seeing you all live in the near future. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.